Hello, my name's Deval and welcome to the Flicksters. This is a podcast where you can catch all the news about movies, reviews and everything worth talking about. So today I am going to do the much awaited Avengers Endgame reaction and throw in some Easter eggs as well. All I can say is this film has been the film of all films. I've seen the film a few times now, so I think I'm ready to, break it down and talk about it with you guys. Please let us know what you think, comments, reactions, whatever you want to do, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, put it out there, let us know what you think. I want to talk about some Easter eggs today. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you've got any more Easter eggs that I haven't got today, then please let me know. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So Endgame, obviously for me, it's like the Infinity Saga, 22 movies over 11 years. I mean, just think about that for a second. Looking at Endgame and Infinity War as two halves, almost, I think they've done a really good job. I enjoyed the film. First time I watched it, I was blown away. Second time I watched it, I was still blown away. I'm still blown away each time I watch the movie. I mean, the fact that, obviously, in Infinity War, that was, to me, Thanos' movie. He came in, he had a job, it's almost like the comics version of Thanos Quest, when he had to, gather the 6 Infinity Stones. And I guess the movie sort of followed him on his journey to collect those stones and the heroes, I guess, trying to stop him. But I really liked the way in Infinity War, he'd done what he had to do. He was very clinical about it. He'd done it. He snapped his fingers and that was that from there, really. So, okay, situation is post-snap, everything's like effed up. Yeah, shit has hit the fan. It's gone tits up and, they want to... Well, first of all, they want to try and solve it. So they get in there, they find out where the stones are or where Thanos is, thanks to Nebula and Rocket, actually. They go to his garden planet. They find him. He's not got the stones. They're angry. Thor goes to the head, chops him up. And yeah, that's that. And I guess that's when you realise that, there's no stones. There's no solution. They are properly effed. Actually, just going back, I do like the way that, when Thanos is cooking, he seasons his food. So, he's a gangster for that. No solutions, 5-year jump, everyone's effed up. Cap is doing his, his post-traumatic stress sort of counselling session. And I'll throw in the first Easter egg there, actually. I don't know if you guys noticed, but that was Joe Russo, one of the, obviously, Russo brothers who directed Endgame, Infinity War, Civil War, and Captain America Winter Soldier. So he's in there, and he's talking about going on a date, blah, blah, blah. Another person that sort of chimes in is actually Jim Starlin. He is the creator of Thanos. He's the person we've got to thank for Thanos. So I'm really glad that they got to really add him into that one. Black Widow's trying to be like the council. She's talking to Okoye. She's talking to Captain Marvel, Nebula and Rocket, and also War Machine in a little hologram, Star Warsy kind of things. And if you notice as well, I find another Easter egg. Okoye mentions that there's some underwater tremors. Now I think, who is underwater in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Well, I'll stop you. No one yet. But we do know that Namor the Submariner, who you can kind of see over there, just behind me, fighting Iron Man. Namor the Submariner is an underwater gangster. He is Marvel's version of Aquaman, basically. And there is some speculation, that Namor the Submariner could show up in the MCU at some point. There is a sort of, studio tug of war, because Namor is, I understand, owned by Universal, similar to Hulk. So he may not get his own standalone film, but who knows, he may show up with maybe the likes of Black Panther or someone like that. And it goes to show that he actually was mentioned with a Black Panther character, Okoye. So you never know, he could come up, he could show up in the next Black Panther. We'll have to wait and see. Another Easter egg for you. When Ant-Man was turned on by the rat, that sounds really bad, but it's not what you think. When he came back, he's a sort of, I don't know, he was in like a security self-storage kind of place. And the designation for his slot was 616. And that's actually I guess a wink at the Marvel 616 designation, which is the designation that the current Marvel Cinematic Universe lies in. Because in Marvel, in Marvel in the comics, there are so many different alternative, universes and timelines and all sorts, which this film now opens up. But the current one is Earth 616, so keep an eye on that one. And now this film has concluded, and we'll talk a little bit about the timelines going forward. There could be a whole bunch of timelines that are existing because of this. So Earth 616, think about it. All those hundreds, if not thousands or millions of possible alternative realities. Also, if you notice, when he went to the sort of cemetery to, I guess, find out, because I think he sort of figured out something's gone wrong. Everyone that's been lost has got their names all there. Some people are saying that there's some X-Men character names. I looked out for all kinds of names. I saw Charlotte Lee, and I even thought that was someone related to Stanley, but I don't think it is. But keep looking out for those names. There could be some Easter eggs in there. No one's really said anything yet. You could be the first person to notice. So the next time you see it, keep a good lookout. Going forward anyway, yeah, so they do the time heist, they go to New York. The New York scene, I actually quite enjoyed it. I like the way they mixed the old stock footage with the new footage. Really, really clever actually. And my favourite bits from going to New York, a couple of favourite bits actually. One was, my number one favourite bit was when Cap goes into the lift. Because for me, in Winter Soldier, that's one of my favourite scenes, the lift fight. Cap goes into the lift in this and you think, okay, he's going to have to fight his way out again like he did before. It's like for him, deja vu. He knows what to do. But no, instead of fighting, he just whispers two words which you would think Cap would never whisper. And that is, Hail Hydra. When he said that, my heart just sank. The cinema went quiet. Then they sort of went crazy. And it's just another nod at the comics. Because in the comics that happens, Cap is like an undercover Hydra stroke shield agent. And there's a moment in the comics where he says, Hail Hydra, just like that. So that's such a powerful, powerful moment. For me, my second best part of the whole film, actually, to be honest. Great moment again when Loki, when they try to take the Tesseract, they almost do, goes wrong, and Loki takes the Tesseract and he's off. And that, I think, opens up another possible alternative reality. So who knows, maybe the Disney streaming service is going to play on that a bit more when it comes out. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it's just so much in Thor, but Thor is like, 5 years later, he's just let himself go in the worst way. He's been on the drink, he's been on the carbs, he's been on the ice cream. He hasn't worked out a day in those 5 years, and he's let himself go. So it's crazy. But he's got like a certain look about him. And even Tony Stark says, oh, Lebowski. And if you think about it, that's a bit weird because Lebowski was played by Jeff Bridges, who also played Obadiah Stane in Iron Man 1. So, think about that one. And they even mentioned Hot Tub Time Machine. There was a moment when Rhodey talked about, okay, they've got a time machine, let's go back in time and kind of like, kill baby Thanos. And Hulk says you can't go back in time and change that time for it to affect your current time, all that kind of stuff. It's all quite confusing. But they mentioned Hot Tub Time Machine, and in Hot Tub Time Machine, Sebastian Stan, who plays Winter Soldier, is in Hot Tub Time Machine. Well, they mention films that star, or I guess, have the stars of their film in it. So it's a bit like, how does that work? Another Easter egg for you, New Asgard. In the comics, it's in Oklahoma. But look in the background when Thor is talking to the guys in the house, and there's a bottle of Iron Brew. Iron Brew is a very, very, very popular Scottish drink, or soda, if you guys want to call that in America. Very, very popular drink in Scotland. And that just makes you think, is it in Scotland? Also, there's a phone number on the pizza box. And that phone number, the format, I actually typed it in Google, and it's actually just a random phone number used for movies. But that phone number, the format of it is a UK style phone number. So that again makes me think that they're in the UK. There's so many more Easter eggs I think are going to come up in the future that we're not too sure of yet. And also so many occurrences that I think this film will then I guess, unveil that will lead on to other Marvel Cinematic Universe happenings in the future. Like, for example, Steve Rogers goes back in time. He does his thing. What has he done? What's happened? I mentioned Loki before, going back, taking the Tesseract away. What could that change? There's so many things that could change so many things. Like in the comics, you get Falcon, Captain America. Yeah, so yeah, that's that. I mean, for me, this film, well, after watching it like 6 or 7 times, I think that this is one of the top movies in general, but definitely one of the top comic book movies of all time. I'm kind of split now, whether Infinity War or this one's better. I'm kind of split. Maybe I'll just see them as one film and put them together and leave it as that. But it's such an accomplishment. I mean, Thanos, he's a villain that I can relate. So this is the top film, probably going to see it a few more times. And every time I watch the film, I must just say before I close, oh my gosh, when Cap picks up that hammer. Oh, Thanos is a gangster. Let's just, like, from there, he's a gangster. He was fighting everyone with no Infinity Stones. Just his big samurai showdown blade type kind of thing, ninja scroll blade. But yeah, when Cap picked up that hammer, I knew it. I was like, this had to happen. And he didn't just pick it up. He knew how to use it better than Thor, actually. So, But then when they all assembled, Sam Wilson was like on your left, and Doctor Strange was doing all these things and all that, and all of them just came out. Even when Black Panther came out first, it looked like the sort of Kenyan sun kind of thing, But they all came out. The cinema I went crazy. We're just all going like, just crazy. So yeah, the camera just sort of panned, and he said, "Avengers Assemble." That you'll never get that again. Yeah, so don't even try. But yeah, this film, it's got to be seen to be believed. Watch it. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, like, subscribe. If you don't like it, still like, subscribe. We are the Flicksters Podcast, and you can find our podcast on Google Play, on iTunes, on everywhere where you can Google it, basically, the Flicksters Podcast, and you'll find our podcast. So just do that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.